Okay, Chazara today, Daf Yud and Aleph. Third line from the top. Again, we're going through a number of Piskei Halachas over here regarding B'dikas Chametz. Most of them so far have been involving when there's mice and weasels and all the other fun type of animals. Tzibur echad shel chametz lefonav beis batim. You have one pile of chametz and two houses, bedukim that are both already budded. They both already have b'dikas chametz. V'os achbar comes along a mouse. V'shokam, he takes one of the chametz. It takes chametz and he goes into a house. V'lo yadinan ilahai ayel. Which house did he go into? We're top of Yud and Aleph. That's the halacha we can learn out of Shnei Shvilin, 2 rows, the Nan, a Mishnah and Tyrus. Shnei Shvilin, you have 2 paths, 2 roads, Echad Tameh, Echad Tar. One of them is Vadai Tameh, one of them is Tar. Well, the one that's Tameh, we know there's a dead body laying across it, that anybody who goes on the path inevitably became Tameh. Reuben walked in one of them, and then he was Isaac B'Tyrus. Shimon walked on the other one, and then he was Isaac B'Tyrus. So one of them are Vadai Tameh, one of those Tyrus are Vadai Tameh. What's halach? If each one is asking their own question, their own rav, at their own time separately, or the same rav but separately, the rav is going to pass, and both of them are tar. Why? Because each one has its own individual shaila. For each one, you have matzah of safek tumah v'rishus or rabban sveika tar. Even though you know it's taka and possible for them to both be tar, but each one is asking individually. Safek we have to pass, and safek tumah v'rishus or rabban sveika tar. Shnei bevas achas. If they're both coming and asking at the same time, then we have to say tameh. Why? Because we can't say you're both tar because that's for sure wrong. You have to say you're both tameh. No, regardless, you have to say they're both tamei, even if it is zebeh for the atzmai. But he explains this. Everyone agrees that if they actually come as achas, the two of them actually walk into the Rav at the same time and ask for one psak together, avada tameim, everyone agrees it's tamei. Why? Because the Rav can't say you're both tar. He just can't say that. Everyone really agrees that if they actually come bezachas separately, why? Because each one has its own individual psak. Each one you'll paskin you're tar because it's sofet tumah b'shus harab mesveika tar. Someone's coming to ask. Only one of them is coming, but he's asking about him and his friend. What's the halacha for both of us? Rabbi Yossi says that's no different than the two coming in together. That's bas achas. The Rav can't say you're both tahar. That's not true. That's false. He has to say you're both tamei. Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi Yehuda's medameh tezachazeh, like Rashi explains, because the Rav can be smart and just say you Reuven you're tahar. And Reuven will chap on his own to tell Shimon's tahar also. Obviously, the Rav can't say lahedya, you're both tahar, but that's why Rabbi Yehuda's medameh tezachazeh to say that they are both tahar. Therefore, when it comes to chametz, really we'll say the same thing. If the two people who own this house, Reuven who owns his house, Shimon who owns his house, come bevas achas, mamish bevas achas, the Rav can't say you don't need a bedika. The Rav would have to say you need a bedika. If they each come with an atzmai, they come completely on their own. So for each one, the Rav will say it's a suffix, and then it's a suffix derabanan lekula, and then sveikei mutter. You don't have to do another bedika. If one person is coming to ask about both of them, then l'chayra would be totally in this machlokes between Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Yossi. Right, to next halacha. Suffix oil, suffix loy oil. You saw a mouse have a piece of chametz run towards your door or into the chutz or towards your house, but you don't know did he actually go into the house or did he not go into the house. Hainu bika, that would be the shayla, what we can learn now from the case of bika. Uvaplukta the Rebbe Eliezer Rabbanon, which is a machlekes Rebbe Eliezer and the Rabbanon. The nan hanichas lebika b'maisag hasham. Someone that goes into a bika during the winter months. During the winter months, the bika is not considered rishus harabim. It's a rishus hayachid because already the plant started sprouting. Therefore, nobody has rishus to be there. The tumah beside the place. In one of the fields in the bika, there is tumah. V'amar echad, and one of them says halachti b'makam Allah. I walked into that bika. V'eni adei im nechnasti v'oisu sada v'imoy nechnasti. I don't know that I walked into that particular field. I walked into the bika, yeah. I don't know if I walked into that particular field. Rebbe Eliezer metar, v'chacham metamon. Rebbe Eliezer is metar, v'chacham is metam. The chumim is metamo. That's put in simple. It's a sofik toma b'rishus hayochin because the bika has a din of b'rishus hayochin. Sveika tome. Why is Rebbe Eliezer metar? Shahar Rebbe Eliezer oimer sofik bia tohar, sofik maga tuma tome. If you have a question whether Bechlal you went into that field, that's like Rashi explains it more, again, there was Svek Sveika. You don't know if you went into the Sada at all. Even if you did go into the Sada, maybe you didn't touch the tires. This that we say, Safek Tum, B'Shus Yochad Sveika Tomei, is when you have a Safek Magal or Safek Mal. If you were when there's only that one Safek, you know you were in that Sada, did you touch it or were you Mal on it? But therefore, it's what? It's a Tar. That's why Rebbe Eliezer holds as Tar. Period. That's the end of that Mishnah. Now, Hadra to our Sugya, the suffix of whether this Achbar went into my house or not, everyone, like Rashi explains over here, everyone's going to agree Sveika is mutter. Why? Because even the Rabbanon over here, that's because you have a rule, suffix Tumah B'Shus Yochad Sveika Tameh. But without that halacha, everyone would agree Sveika is tar. Therefore, the Rav, or this person who has a suffix, whether the Achbar went into his house, Sveika is tar. Sveika is tar. I mean, Sveika, you don't need to do another bedika. Next case. You saw the mouse run into your house with a piece of bread. You ran in after him. You did a bedika. You couldn't find the bread. Plug to the Rameh Rabbanan. That will be told in the Machlekes Rameh and the Rabbanan. The Nan. Higher Rameh Omer called Davar Shabecheskas Tuma Lo Olam Hu Betumos Actually Yivadnu L'Cha Tuma Heichen He. Anything that had a Cheskas Tuma, it forever blimes Tameh until you know for sure, until you can locate where the Tuma is. All right, the case is you have a suffix 3 galim, 3 hills, 3 areas, 3 piles. You know Tumah was on one of them. You check one and you don't find any Tumah, it's Tar. The other 2 are Tameh. You check the second one, you don't find any Tumah. The 1 and 2 are Tar. The third one is Tameh. Now you check the third one, you don't find any Tumah. The Rameh holds now all 3 are back Tameh. Why? Because you know there was Tumah in there. Until you can conclusively identify where did the Tumah go, you have to assume everything is Tameh. The Chachamim no, boidig atche magila sela, just be boidig in the ground until you get to a rock where you know the tumah couldn't go beneath that, or the karka besula, or to unused ground that's never been used and plowed and churned up before. And if you don't find any tumah, then you could assume it's tahar. Why? Like Rashi says, you could assume it's tama, an oirev or an achbar came and took it. Right now, pashas you would say, okay, so our case is the exact same thing. This chametz, you couldn't find this chametz, so Remeir would hold it's bechezkas that there's chametz here, and you'd have to do a bedika on the entire house. The Chachamim say no, but Rashi and the Chachamim say no. Since you couldn't find it, you assume it's gone. You assume an achbar took it and got rid of it. Rashi explains that no, over here by our case of chametz, even Remeir agrees because bedikas chametz the Rabbanon. Even Remeir agrees that we could assume the achbar got rid of it. Only over there, when it's a sofik tumah, sofik taira, that's where Remeir holds you mamish bechezkas tumah until you know bebrirus exactly where the tumah went. Next case. You go into the house and you find the piece of bread in the corner of the dining room. Do you now have to do a bedika on the rest of the house, or do you assume the piece that you found was the piece that the achbar schlepped in? Plug to the Rebbe Rabbi Shimon Gamliel. That would be the machlokes Rabbi Shimon Gamliel to Tanya. Sodash and never about kever. Have a field that a kever got lost. We know that there was a body buried in this field, and we forgot where it was. Anybody that goes into the field is tameh because maybe he walked over the kever. Nimtza about kever. Let's say after a few years you find the kever in that field. Then the Tanakama holds on nichnas l'soichatar. Now anybody that walks into the field, except in that spot where the tumah is, but anybody that walks into the whole general field is going to be tar. Why shani oimer kever she'avad hu kever she'nimtza. Rabbi holds, we know there was one kever here that was lost. I could assume, and I found the kever. Mistama, the one that I found was the one that was lost. I don't have to assume anything otherwise, and therefore, the rest of the field is tahar. Rabbi Shimon Gamliel, no, tibate kolas on the kula. You have to check the entire field. Why? Maybe the one that you found wasn't the one that you lost, it was a different one. And the one that you lost, the one that you didn't know where it was, it's still unknown where it is, and there's still a tumah in the field. Therefore, you have to be boiting the rest of the field. Similarly over here, by B'dikas Chametz, right? You went into the house and you found one piece of bread. So we assume that piece of bread that you found was the piece that the Achbar dragged in. That would be totally, according to Rebbe, yes, Chametz of the Achbar, who Chametz Shanim, so that's the one that you found. You don't have to do a B'dik on the rest of the house. According to Rabbi Shimon Gamliel, no, maybe the one you found is not the one the Achbar brought in, and you would have to do a B'dik on the entire house. The last case of Chazorah, Haniach Tessim B'Sayud. Let's say, I guess this is probably a more common scenario, or at least somewhat common. You had a pile of 9 pieces of chametz, and now you come back the next morning, the morning of your dalit or whenever it was, and you have a pile of 10. Do we assume the pile of 10 that you have is the same pile of 9, just one piece somehow got added in? Or do we assume, no, this pile of 10 is a completely different pile of 10, and that means my pile of 9 is lost. I got to do Badika to find my pile of 9. Plug to the Rabbi Rabbanan. That's Machlekes Rabbi Rabbanan. The Tanya. You left a money, $100 of Meiser Sheni, and you come back to the pile, you find $200 of Meiser Sheni. Chulun and Meiser Sheni, Rebbe holds that 200 that you have there, and 100 of it is the Meiser Sheni. You have another 100 of Chulun that's just somehow ended up in this pile. So I have a mixture of Chulun and Meiser Sheni, and like Rashi says, I have to take money, be mechal the Knuchas Meiser Sheni off of this money. But I assume of the 200 that I have here, I assume 100 of it is the original Meiser Sheni that I put here. No, Hakol Chulam, all 200 is Chulam. Why? You left 100, now you have 200. This 200 is a completely separate 200. If it's a completely separate 200, where is that 100 of Meiser Sheni? I don't know. I got to find the 100 of Meiser Sheni. But the 200 I have here is not 100 Meiser Sheni, 100 not Meiser Sheni. Who I did by our case of Chum? It's the same Machlekes. According to Rebbe, again, I had a pile of 9 and now a pile of 10. According to Rebbe, I'll assume the pile of 10 that I have was the pile of 9, and somehow one extra piece got added on. But who cares? That 9 I have here. And I don't have to do a badika on the rest of the house. According to the Chachamim, no. This pile of 10 that I have here was not that pile of 9. It's a new pile of 10. And where is my pile of 9? I don't know. It's somewhere in my house. And I'd be mechuyev to do badika to find that pile of 9. Ad kan chazara.
What's the din of